Hey. So, welcome back to Mentoring Matters. I am doing my 40 Lessons Before 40 series. I thought I was going to record all four in this one sitting, but no, my face hurts. I'm tired of talking already. So, I'm just going to do this one and then I'll do the other two hopefully next week. And it won't matter for you all because it'll all get published initially at the same time on my birthday because that is a birthday gift to myself to actually get this channel going. Now, I don't know. I don't know a lot about YouTube. Besides that, I watch certain videos on here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if not posting a lot will automatically negatively impact me because reasonably speaking, I don't think I could post every day. Like I just don't have something to say every day. Um, but I can commit to twice a week. I can't. But see, I have a traditional media background. My bachelor's is in communication studies, electronic media production, and so my mind is kind of like set that outside of the news, shows come on once a week. So I'll push myself to try to do one during the week and then one on the weekend so that I'm still producing two a week so that the channel does not my goodness go another year unoperational after because it took me forever to get this 40 on here. Like I need to go back and look at the date for my first video. And so on this channel, because I attempted to do like little videos here and there when I first got divorced like 7 years ago, but those are not on this channel. But the first one over there is from 2016 or 2017, and then the first one on this channel is definitely 2023, and we are in 2025, and I have not posted nothing yet. So, um, I don't know. I do feel like we have to push ourselves, but I also feel like we have to go with our natural inclinations as well. So, as you can see, after one 30-minute video, my face hurt. I'm tired. I had to convince myself to get on here and at least get the second one done. So I said that to say I cannot make any promises with frequency, but do know that whatever I post will be relevant. And fingers crossed, it'll be helpful. I definitely know it's going to be relevant to someone, but I also hope that it's helpful because there are people that I listen to online, and sometimes it's helpful in a tangible way. Like now I need to take these steps, and but most of the time it's more like inspirational. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good after that message. Like a sermon on a Sunday, but you don't necessarily know exactly what you need to do. So hopefully I am able to give a guide for actual steps. I might not give steps, but I'm hoping that you can produce your own steps based on the examples that I give, roughly. All right. So I see now that what I did wrong on my last video is I went into you can't fix everything, which is 11. And so I guess when I skipped 5, I was also off a line all the way through and ended up saying 11 as 10. So technically, you have the first 11 on the first video. So I guess on this one, I'll take it 12 to 22, maybe. I don't know. Um, I'll try not to be so particular. So 12, which I kind of spoke to already, is life keeps getting better. Like, no. Now, there are dips. So you might take a dip in income. You might take a dip in your living situation. You might take a dip in some area, but overall it's just like when you're on a weight loss journey and you gain some weight while you're gaining muscle and you see it as like a negative, but it was just something that was necessary to build the muscle mass that you needed to keep moving forward. Same demonstration. Life only gets better with time, so we always, whether we know it or not in a tangible way, we always have something to look forward to as we continue to level up. Um, because now I'm trying to actually take a sec to look for real, so I can stay on task. I think I might have astigmatism. I took an online test and things was looking quite fuzzy. Um, But I still don't want to wear glasses. There's nothing wrong with glasses. I used to want to wear glasses when I was younger because I thought glasses made you smarter. Like, as soon as you put them on, that IQ is going up. I was so lame. And I remember when I was in third grade, there was a eclipse, and they said if you look into it, you'll be blind. So I took that as you'll start to have vision problems, and therefore you'll need glasses. So here I am in Leap Erickson, which is a grammar school on the west side of Chicago. I grew up out south, but I lived out west until I was maybe about 10 or 11. I think of 10. Um, so here I am staring at, as hard as humanly possible, hoping I'll need glasses after. And here I am, 30 some odd years later, truly putting off this visit to the optometrist. Okay, so things change. What we think is important and what we want changes. Because now I don't need to look smart. Anyhow, um, all right, 13. Release emotions after you've experienced them. And so this is something that I learned from a book called The Untethered Soul, I think. Untethered Spirit. But it's basically about truly learning that we are not our body. We have a body, we are not the body. You know, we are spirit. And this particular book talks about how you are the one that's watching everything that's going on, and you are the one that's experiencing everything that's going on. So, as the watcher, you can pull yourself out of the TV screen and just watch. And when you detach, now I hear more and more terms related to it, cognitive dissonance, things like this. But you're creating space between your body and your emotions, which we could put together in some ways because they respond to one another with your spirit man. And so, one of the things that infects your spirit man is playing things on repeat. Somebody said something you didn't like, and now you're hearing it in your head all day long. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to feel disrespected. It's okay to address it. But after that, we have to let it go. And the letting it go part can be a struggle. And so train yourself to after you not denying yourself. After you have experienced said emotion, let it go and just move on and open yourself up for the next emotion, which could very well be positive. Okay. Next, 14. All things are relative. So, killing is wrong unless it's self defense or someone's trying to kill one of your kids. That's the same thing with everything. Lying is wrong until you have to lie to save your life. You know, I'm using extreme circumstances, but there's no universal, kind of demonstration. And it's great to have principles. I'm principled, but some of those principles, and it's hard to explain, I had to become a little pliable in the principle based on the circumstances. Everything is just not super black and white. And I didn't always know that. With certain things, I felt very black, white. But no, there are circumstances and conditions and individuals and environments that warrant you stepping outside of your traditional thinking. And not that you stay there permanently, but for an occasion or for a situation that you become open to things that you normally wouldn't. And I'm not talking about because these are crazy times. I'm not talking about somebody talking you into a threesome or something crazy like that. Please. If that's not your thing, then don't make it your thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about um I'm talking about just doing something that's a little faux pas because you know in your heart of hearts that it's the right move to make and not being tossed to and fro and torn and fragmented because what you're doing is against something that you typically would speak out against. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to give too personal of an example, But yeah, everybody pretty much has something that came to mind when I said that, and I don't want to detract from what naturally came to your mind with an example on this one also. Okay. Um, all things are relative for the most part, right? Um, people are many different things. I have this as number 15 because again, with the black and white, I was all about classifying people. This person is solid, this person is not. This is a good person, this is a bad person, this is a giver, this is a taker. This person is naive, this person is a narcissist, but we are a collection of things, and that's why sometimes I struggle to um, describe myself because I'm like, well, on this hand it's this, and this, but it's also this, and this. Like on the previous, almost at the previous slide, work brain. On the previous video, oh, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. I don't want to say that's because I'm getting old. um, I'm gonna say that's because I try to give too much context sometimes. I start trying to give all this context and I forget where I was headed. But um, I like I would consider myself to be really free flowing and open and spontaneous, and then I meet my partner and he's like, "You're really rigid." I'm like, "Me?" But yes, I am rigid in ways. I am free flowing in ways. A person can be naive and also be manipulative themselves. A person can be frugal but also overspend on certain things. A person can be responsible and still careless in certain ways. A person can be a thinker and someone who flies by the seat of their pants at the same time. So it's like we have to get away from some of those classifications because it will interfere with seeing others and ourselves clearly. We are more than one things. We are all bad guys and good guys. If you Whether you can believe it or not, none of us are pure as the driven snow, and none of us, well, hopefully, not many of us, are just dark, disturbed, don't do nothing for anybody. I remember I was with somebody that I considered to be extremely selfish and manipulative, and we were driving down the street, and this couple was like waving at people, trying to get someone to give them a jump. And this person who I had seen act extremely selfish in numerous ways is like, I got you, man. And I'm like, we have somewhere to be, And I'm usually the nice one, but I'm like, we don't have time for this. And then we were on a one way that went like really far because we weren't here, we were in Portland, Oregon. And so we have to go down like, it felt like miles, loop back around, try to find what street they were on because we weren't even familiar with the area. It took us some time to get back to them. And he's like, well, he looked me right in my eyes and he asked for my help. And I'm like, you don't care about that. But apparently you do. Apparently in this instance you did. So just knowing that people are nuanced, you'll never have anybody fully figured out because there are a lot of pieces to us all. Um, I'm trying to stop saying also. 16. Forgiveness and boundaries go together. It's starting to get dark. And I'm dark, so I need to this video is not gonna be as long as the first one, which I think is fine. But you can forgive people, but you just have to appropriately section them in your life thereafter. Um, and that could look different. Maybe you go to their functions a little bit less. Maybe you answer every other text from them and not every text. Maybe screen your calls now when it comes to them and see what they want before you hit them back. Um, but it can be a complete removal from your life, especially depending upon who it was. Like, I'm not. When I was younger, I was all about like being cool with exes. Like, if nothing crazy happened, it's just they weren't meeting my expectations or I wasn't meeting theirs. I'm like, let's be cool. And now I'm like, no, because we can no longer ever be friends because we've thought that we were going to be more than that and entertain the romantic energy, even if nothing ever happened physically. Like I've had people that I dated that I liked that like me, and we never even kissed. Maybe had some intimate interactions, like a back rub or something, but it never ended in sex. But still, that intimacy and that interest means that I'm disrespectful of my mate if I bring you around, or I'm talking to you on the phone, or I'm FaceTiming you. So now I'm like, can't do it. But I say that to say that that's the boundary. I forgive them for whatever they did to me. Hopefully they forgive me for whatever I did to them. But this boundary looks like no further contact, because it got to be like that sometimes. 17. You got to make a big deal over things you deem worthy. So, like I said, I had a 1 year anniversary, and for some people, it's like 1 year. Ain't y'all in y'all 40s? Y'all not married. It's only 1 year. Who gives a damn, right? But it's like, it's a big deal for me because I have not made it to that year mark with anyone since I was married. So, I mean, I might still know somebody after a year, still talking, maybe still thinking about getting back together, but ultimately, I didn't restore anything with anyone. So, yes, I'm gonna make a fuss over a 1 year boyfriend girlfriend anniversary in my 40s because it's a big deal to me, even if nobody else understands it. And he really didn't even get it. He like, what? I'm like, yeah, yes, it's a big deal to me. And so you don't have to justify what's a big deal for you on your journey. It could be something small. You worked out for the first time in a year. You handled the situation better than you would have handled it in the past. Yes. If normally you would have cut somebody out and then you didn't this time, go ahead and buy yourself a pair of shoes, baby. Go ahead. Why not? So it's like reward yourself, make a fuss, whether it's making a fuss internally and, taking yourself out to dinner or something, or whether it's announcing it. Do whichever one makes you feel good or you feel like is most appropriate for the moment, but kick up a fuss, because what else are we here for? Like, yes, to learn, yes, to grow, yes, to contribute to civilization as mankind is having our time on earth. We want to contribute to that, right? But we're also here to enjoy the splendor that is being alive. Like they say, the angels are envious of us because we get to be man and we get to be mankind. So why wouldn't we kick up a fuss at every opportunity? Give me a reason to make a fuss about me, baby, because I'm taking it every time if I have the time. Every time if I have the time. Okay. That was 17. 18. Don't let the dark sides of life make you angry. If you are well meaning and you give people, places, and things the benefit of the doubt, you are gonna experience hurt. I've been hurt by people I thought was a friend. So I think people always equate hurt with relationships. I've experienced hurt from a family member, felt betrayed. I have experienced hurt from an employer. Somebody I thought I was really close to, and then they took advantage of me or allowed someone else to. So I'm gonna say, wait, which one is this? Don't let the dark sides of life. So in putting up our boundaries, there was a season where I was a little on the bitchy side, for sure, for sure. Where I didn't have no tolerance for nothing. There was no balance, no grace, no benefit of the doubt, and yeah, I was acting like a bitch. And gratefully, it was just part of my process and finding the balance of having the right boundaries. And I didn't stay there. There are people who stay there that just are forever guarded, forever have negative thoughts about the opposite sex, like forever bitter, forever wounded, and just won't deal with it. And now, like, there was a light, there was a brightness in you that has now turned ice cold and dark, and you're gonna live the rest of your life like that because of essentially disappointment with people. You cannot allow those dark moments or dark feelings or dark times to permanently change the best things about you. Let it change the things about you that put you in that situation. But a lot of times that's intuition, because I can get two different people a job and one does great and the other one tanks the interview and embarrasses me. And so what lesson am I learning? That not that I shouldn't help people, but that I need to be meticulous with who I help and how. Did the person who bombed the interview give me good reason to think they would kill the interview or the position? No. I just liked her. I just wanted to look out for her. And she didn't care as much as I cared about that particular opportunity for her. So that was an intuition thing. And so, but some people will take it the other way, like, well, just you can't do nothing for people, you can't put nobody on. Nah, 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 nah. You can do stuff for people. You can put your name on the line somebody. You can refer somebody. You can put somebody on. But just make sure it's the right person. And you should know whether or not it's the right person, because you should know them pretty well. If you're willing to put your name on the line for them, you should know them pretty well. And if they have shown you that they are worthy of taking a risk on, if they have showed you that they have certain capabilities and that they are willing to come in, work hard, and make you look good because you refer to me, right? Then do it. If they don't, then don't. But the answer is not to close the door on giving people opportunities. So that's what I mean. Like, don't let the things that don't go right damage you, and take away from who you are supposed to be becoming. Use it all for your betterment, not for your ill, not for your ills or ill, or not to develop ill will towards others. Um, 19. Life requires proactivity as opposed to reactivity. Who's child? As my soon to be 13-year-old would say, you can't just go through life responding to what happens. You have to be proactive. The best future is the one you make. Now, yes, we can't account for everything. Yes, there'll be the unknown. Yes, there'll be curveballs. But we should be actively designing the life that we want. We should be being proactive about that. So instead of waiting to see what my boo is going to do for me on a special occasion, I'm going to say what I want done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go through it with a fine tooth comb, but I'm going to say at least two things. Like, hey, can you take care, the food for my party? Can you, put up these decorations for me? Now, if he goes above and beyond that, great. But I'm not going to um, try to do all of that by myself if I'm planning a party or something, which I am. And I'm also not going to assume that he's going to get certain things done because it's my birthday and I would do it for him. No. I'm going to be proactive about making sure my I's is dotted, my T's is crossed. And if that means asking him to cover certain things in advance and getting that sure thing, babe, then that's what I'm going to do. But it's not just that. It's with all things. Just waiting to see what happens and then responding to what happened. You should be designing what happens. That means you are proactive. You are getting ahead of things, as they say. You are anticipating problems. You are anticipating issues. You are anticipating challenges. You are anticipating life. And proactively moving the pieces of the puzzle where they need to be to get yourself the best possible outcome. Whether it works exactly like that or not. But just sitting around and just, oh, look what happened. I guess I should. You didn't know that was going to happen? Or something like that could happen? Why not? You're supposed to be paying attention to this life that you're building. So be proactive. Do not be reactive. 20. Serve others, but don't let them burn you out. And I kind of spoke to this. Like, I am a person that likes to help people. I derive deep pleasure from helping people. Like, my partner, he likes to see people happy, which is different. Because that means he just likes to see people having a good time at a party. He loves to throw a great party, and then people come and they really enjoy themselves. That's cool. But while at that party, I'm going to be pulling people to the side. Like, hey, how's your job search going? Do you need me to check on your resume? Hey, how's everything going with You and your stepdaughter, like, are things improving within that relationship? You know, these are my thoughts. Is there anything I could do to help? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people live proactive, um, beautifully curated lives to the best of their ability. So I'm always going to do that. I'm always going to volunteer. I'm always going to put something on my plate in honor of serving someone else. But the extent to which I do it and how frequently I do it is what I've changed so that I don't burn myself out. I'll volunteer as something for something at work every quarter versus every time something comes up, I need to be the one. I will volunteer to take a look at someone's resume, you know, a couple of times a year. I used to be looking at resumes nonstop. So essentially what I'm saying is don't, again, it ties into the last one, don't lose the purpose that's in you to serve and support others, but don't let it burn you out because you're still supposed to be enjoying your life in the process. And so I'm going to go up to 21 on this one. And so self love is also self accountability. And I've seen this online kind of circulating more frequently, but it's true. Self love, bubble baths, saying no when you need to, getting your hair done, your nails done, prioritizing your savings account, paying yourself before you pay all these creditors, and you know, the self love. But you have to hold yourself accountable. So when you make the wrong move, something I say is, and I think you're not supposed to say this because it's like implies something about people with special needs, but I'll say, duh, Kamisha. Something that I should have known, like, duh, Kamisha, but that's me acknowledging that I messed up. I should have known that I wasn't as thoughtful or careful as I should have been at the time. So you gotta be about that accountability. When you fumble, say that you fumbled. Even if you don't tell anybody else, tell yourself and be real with yourself about how you're gonna avoid fumbling in the future. And whatever that fumble was, an opportunity, not necessarily a partner, could be a partner, could be, you know, something else. And so you cannot, it's just like the way we don't let our kids do whatever they want to do because we love them and we want to see them be successful and happy long term, so we hold them accountable. And so you would do the exact same thing for yourself. Like, you need that balance. It just can't all be about showering yourself with all the best things all the time. Sometimes you don't deserve those things. Sometimes you have other things you need to prioritize. So just make sure that you're being accountable for the ways that you are best serving yourself, the community, and the world, and the ways that you aren't, and that you can get better. And having that honest dialogue with yourself is one of the best things you can do. So that is, I think, 11 through 21. I will get these other two done and posted definitely before January 22nd, 2025. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if any of this helped you. And then I think what I want to do is kind of start like a Dear Abby. I'm old, so I don't know if y'all know about Dear Abby, but it's like when people just write in questions and then I can answer them on here, or just give my thoughts. Because that's really what it is, right? It's just my opinion. And someone else might have a different opinion, and that's okay too. So, mentor matters. Have a great day.